Joker just killed Batman in this DCKO. I freaking knew it. What the hell? And it's basically a free-for-all. Whoever wins this damn DCKO tournament becomes the King Omega to fight against Darkseid, so they don't have to reboot like the new 52. And I feel like all my favorite characters are dead, including Green Lantern. Like, no! And I'm not gonna lie, it looks like the Absolute Universe characters are finally gonna come to Earth Prime or the main universe to fight them. Did I mention that this guy's Superman has wraps of miniature suns built in them? Yeah, like, what is this? This is the DCKO issue 1. Everybody's been waiting on it, and I loved it. This was a good issue. This is basically like an action figure in a wrestling ring. That's it, and I love it. So the story starts off on how Clark is going to prep for the DCKO, and he uses the wraps, again, with miniature suns built in them. But we get this instance where all the DC Trinity are at Clark's apartment, and they're playing this board game that has the Justice League on them. But they notice something outside in Metropolis, a red glowing glare. And it's freaking Darkseid. He's finally back, destroying every molecule, every particle of Earth at the same damn time. The Trinity, they'll fly out of the apartment to go attack Darkseid. The issue is, Darkseid is all over the world and in the universe, like on Oa, Gotham, Themyscira, even the Mountain of Eternity. Like, what? And all the Justice League members fall. They die. They lose. But this is being narrated by Time Trapper Doomsday. Yes, I'm not even kidding. Time Trapper Doomsday went back in time to 7 days before that happening so they can prepare and stop this from happening. Darkseid has already conquered the future, and right now he's making his way back through the time to this moment. And go on, how do we stop him this time? And he's like, you don't. You already lose. Time Trapper Doomsday is like every single timeline that you guys try to do, you fail, you lose. Darkseid he just wins. There's something we can do, right? And this gorilla is like, nope, you can't. And Hal Jordan's like, Booster, come on. There's got to be something. Hal, we watched you try 1,000 times, and every single time you lose. From what we've seen, there's only one thing you can do. And Hal's like, what's that? Give up and start over. And Diana's like, what do you mean by starting over? And Time Trapper Doomsday's like, resetting the timeline completely. You guys have already experienced this. And we saw this with the new 52, how everybody forgot their memories and went into a brand new timeline, so Darkseid wouldn't be in control anymore. Satana asked though, would we be the same people if we go in this new timeline? And we see that the Wolf Forger's like, nope, it would be brand new. You guys will forget everything. Aquaman's like, though, wait, hold on. This is our reality. If we forget it, what's the point? Because this is our home. Time Trapper Doomsday's like, well, you'll be alive, okay? Batman up here is like, enough. We need to understand what we're up against, Corium. How did Darkseid become this? And what the World Forger explains is that there's two things that create life, Omega and Alpha. Alpha creates life, right? But with the mega energy of Darkseid, he's a full embodiment of this. And now he's called the King Omega. So he's basically unstoppable. Everything around him goes right through him. That's why he can never lose. I love how they say the absolute right here. That's why it's called Absolute Universe, because all Omega energies flow right through him. He becomes absolute. Time Trapper Doomsday is like, well, this is why we got to figure out quick, because when he comes here, it's over, and we only got a little bit of energy left. I believe Batman says right here, since there's an apocalypse heart coming into the Earth, if we take that power and fight against Darkseid, could we win? And everyone's like, no, that's a terrible idea. But Booster Gold's like, well, that's an idea. We can actually do it, especially with the mega energy that Booster Gold has been accumulating since being in the Absolute Universe for eons now. And there is one way to get this power. We have to fight each other to be one person, to be the King Omega. But with everybody else dying, it's a temporary death, because the person who becomes King Omega can bring everybody else back. Superman's, though, is like, we're not fighting each other. I'm over this. No, we're gonna fight Darkseid just right now. But Clark is looking at Earth, and even Diana says, listen, Clark, ever since the All-In Special, we have been losing against Darkseid, and you know it. We have to do this. Superman, though, is worried about characters like Joker, like Cheetah, like Lex, if they get control of Earth while we're gone. And Batman's like, hold on, we have a problem for that, or a solution, I should say. And that is the T-Spheres from Mr. Terrific. They're going to grab all the superpowered villains and throw them in Arkham with all different types of technologies so they can't break out. I believe we got Wayne Tech, LexCorp, a bunch of other stuff, plus Mr. Terrific and the Teen Titans are going to stay back while the Justice League go on and fight in this bracket KO. On the 5th day before they go out to the tournament, we see the old Justice League members getting upgrades. Even the Justice Buster and Cyborg gets an upgrade. Like, yo, that is cool. It's called the Father Box. I mean, I'll take it, DC. I'll take it. On the 6th day, it is time to travel into the heart of the Earth. With all the mega energy that Booster Gold accumulated in the Absolute Universe, he shoots it and makes a portal so all the Justice League members can go through. And that's when you left up with this, which it looks like something out of Apocalypse. Yeah, insane. And we've seen like the Justice League with their upgraded suits. Like the Justice Buster looks cool as hell. And what those big ass statues are saying, you must go through this portal. And it's almost like Hunger Games in a way. I'm not gonna lie. And each member has to go through it. But we see that some Justice League members are dying as we speak, including Jay Garrick. Yes, Jay Garrick is dead. No. Clark sees that Diana and a lot of Justice League members are going through the portal, but there is one person he has not seen, and it's freaking Batman. And he gets stabbed, or I should say shot at right through the stomach. And it's the freaking Joker. What the hell? And we see Giganta, King Shark, Cheetah, and Lex just sitting there, and explodes and it kills Batman. Before Batman dies, he says, "Remember what I told you, Clark." And Clark's like, "No!" Lex and Joker and the other superpowered criminals go through the portal while Lex is seeing this happen, and we see other Justice League members, including Hal Jordan and Blue Beetle, die. Clark finally goes through this portal, and we see the heart of Earth, of this like Omega energy place. It's freaking insane. But we get a quote right here saying that the 3 destroyers, if I had to guess, Darkseid might be controlling them to fight against Earth Prime's universe team. If that's the case, oh my gosh, but I can't wait for that. But at the end, we see Booster Gold, the World Forger, Time Trapper Doomsday, and the Gorilla. Looks like they're controlling the portal on where the DC universe is at right now, like the team. But then Darkseid's right behind them looking over them. Is he controlling them? I don't know, but it says it's already over. Guys, this is a lot to unpack. I might have to make another video on this. But guys, this was freaking insane. Like, what?